It ended up being a chaotic affair, but Manchester United got an all-important victory on match day 6 of the Europa League, and the United Twins need to speak about it.
Hey, ready up.
Good or bad, it's a must. Preparations keep pre-match leave a fuss. When the whistle blows, stipulations in the field like a wrestling match. Target, lock them up. Progress to the opposite, believe in divine time. 3H is my time. Load them up with a pinpoint aim. Just 2-man step for boots in the field, it's prime time. We are fit anyway, especially ballers. Touch every 4-4 corners. Open play set piece with delivering trauma. It's like a TV drama, cover every genre. Are a show for the next team. You say they're hot on Marga, left and right. 2 C's up top for the win. Us twins leave dust on the CB's armor.
Blessings to everybody inside, including yourself, Cappy.
Yeah.
Viktoria Plzen 1, Manchester United 2. We don't make it easy for ourselves at all.
Nah.
First half, where for large parts was uninspiring. Ball movement was rather slow as the home side were happy to remain compact and deep in their defensive shape. At times, they would venture forward, and those opportunities stemmed from United players surrendering possession of the football. Far too easy, by the way, but we know that story. There were some nervy moments from Andre Onana, who we know didn't have his best game against Nottingham Forest and started this fixture with a couple of wild and misaimed punches, one from a set piece and the other on a long throw-in. Something that in tough away games you just don't want to see, but we'll get back to that a little later, because when it comes to the mentality of how this team reacts in the moment in possession, I just feel that our team always falls into the trap of slowing things down and allowing the game speed to become mundane because of the lack of innovation in possession. Now, sometimes you'll see the person on the ball just stall for a split second and wait for some off-ball movement, some shenanigans to take place. Other cases, guys are not on the same wavelength, for the incorrect passing decision is made and that derails a counter-attack. It's absolutely alarming, considering the fact that a few of these guys, no, not even a few, a lot of these guys have played together for a good amount of time. One thing to consider, if you're playing devil's advocate, is that we never really, or haven't for a while at least, had a distinct style of play that simplifies things down to a T. So then you revert to survival mode, gambling essentially. And as we all know, when you step into a casino, there's as much of a chance of you losing everything as there is a chance of you leaving the building a more wealthy individual, or group in this case.
What is it with United kicking off halves of football in catastrophic fashion? Against Forest, it was 2 on either side of the first half and second half. 7 minutes into the second half against Arsenal. This time around, we created our own issues, and Mr. Andre Onana, we've said a lot of good about you this season, but this time around, CM, he spoke about the nervy start. And this was just another poor moment in goal for him. This time around, it's not reacted to a strike, but gifting Plzen with possession just outside our area as he miscommunicated with Matthijs de Ligt. Signals for the Dutch defender to come closer, and he did the total opposite. Onana still played the pass, which wasn't on anyway, so he forced the issue. More risk than reward considering the targeted recipient too. So it's an easy interception. Mesut, who drives into the area, squares the ball to Vidra for an easy tap-in. Basically, an open net. And Nusir Mazraoui was on the line essentially hoping for a poor strike. So, no matter the result, those are the moments you look back on and have to critically analyze, especially when they become regular occurrences.
Which they are for us.
Lapses of concentration can be rare for top sides, but at Manchester United, they happen frequently. What goes into that? Why do our players, for the most part, make poor decisions in important moments and unfavorable areas? Split-second decisions. That's a deeper question for another day, and perhaps one I would love to see Ruben Amorim or even a player or two tackle in an in-depth interview, because press conferences won't present us with enough time to even touch the outskirts of such a deep topic. The psychological considerations that are or should be involved in pre-match preparations and so forth, or are involved in general. Maybe, because that's another thing. Maybe if we get to go through that process on a match day, outside of a match day, before and after, during training sessions, then you start to understand more where players come from when they make specific decisions on the pitch, and it gives fans in general a better understanding of the game through the player's lens.
We responded to conceding better, and in fact our substitutions today for the most part played their part. Our substitute, should I say.
Sure.
Rasmus Højlund being the guy who scored the brace to turn things around. Anthony had his bright and not so bright moments. Mason Mount, I felt, added a different dynamic in the 10 position as a body that was now willing to run in behind and stretch that Plzen defense, which is far from what we did during that first period of the game. As we upped the ante in terms of urgency, the game of course opened up for our opponents to have a chance to score break points, but their rackets were worn out, and luckily for us, the fighting spirit carried these damaged soldiers to victory, an important victory in the league phase, which now puts us on 12 points in the 7th position now. And of course, you need to finish within the top 8 to snatch automatic qualification to the knockout round. So with 2 games remaining, as long as results go our way internally, because it is in our hands now, we'll get that. Amarim emphasized the importance of getting those victories, so there is more time to train and to improve away from match scenarios. So the less games, the better in everyone's eyes, I believe.
Yeah, and what we can't forget are the 2 fixtures we have ahead now. First, a Manchester derby against City, who lost against Juventus in Turin. A masterful tactical performance by Thiago Motta to stifle Pep Guardiola's side. What I found interesting in this build-up, in the build-up to this fixture, is the fact that, and I'll go out on a limb and say this, I think this is the most equally matched Manchester derby in a while, form-wise. Nothing more, nothing less. But those things go out of the window, and we'll indeed find out how this fixture will take shape come 4:30 p.m. on Sunday.
And let's not get too carried away though. When it comes to execution, one team clears. Just look at the final few minutes of this game. 3v1s, plenty of advantageous situations squandered due to poor decision making. We've got to treat this period as a learning curve while acknowledging where we are as a team and the small improvements that should be made, I believe, gradually.
Yeah. And then afterward, Spurs will occupy next week's Thursday night, also in a League Cup quarter-final affair. Tottenham themselves are struggling, to say the least, in all competitions, mainly the Premier League, of course, where consistency has been a distant friend who doesn't want to pick up the phone, no matter the circumstance. So, on this game, on the Viktoria Plzen game, let us know what you thought of Manchester United's victory tonight, and of course the schedule ahead, packed with difficult tests and barely any time to debrief. Such is life at the moment when it comes to the sport of football. Hit that like button, subscribe if you're new, share to your friends and frenemies, and until the next time, we'll see you lots in a bit. School wars with a rope get tugging. Protect your luggage. Away days get wild when you can't just dance like Sturridge. Heathrow airport code. Jaws get stiff under pressure if it's still like gum.